The major dynasties, kingdoms and empire of India from ancient times through the Mughal era and British colonial period. It covers the history of the Pandyas, Cholas, Cheras, Pallavas, Mauryas, Rajputs, Delhi Sultanate, Mughals, Marathas, Hyderabad and Mysore kingdoms as well as figures like Rani Lakshmi Bai. The Pandyas were one of the three ancient kingdoms in the south of India. They ruled over Tamil Nadu until the end of the 15th century. Korkai was the early capital of the Pandyas before it was moved to Madurai. The Pandyas expanded their kingdom and controlled the districts of Madurai and Tirunelveli in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu was divided between the Pallavas and the Pandyas. The Pandyan Empire was established by Emperor Kadingan in the 6th century. The Pandyas excelled in overseas trade with places as far as Rome and China. The Pandyas produced fine pearls along the South Indian coast. The Pandyan kingdom was often subdued by the Pallavas and Cholas who felt threatened by their expansion. Several Pandyan kings helped revive the kingdom, especially Mahavaman Kulasekara. After Kulasekara's death, his sons Sundara and Veera fought for the throne. The Delhi Sultanate took advantage and raided the Pandyan kingdom, ending their rule. In 520 BC, Persian kings Darius and Cyrus invaded northwestern India and ruled for 150 years. Alexander the Great invaded Punjab and defeated King Porus but was impressed by his bravery. Alexander appointed Porus as general before leaving India, with his governors ruling Alexander's provinces. Indian forces later drove away most of Alexander's generals. Persian and Greek invasions impacted India's political systems and led to Indo-Greek fusion. The Chola dynasty originated from the Kabri River valley and became very powerful. Raja Chola I expanded the Chola Empire and invaded Sri Lanka in the 10th century. Rajendra Chola conquered the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The period under Rajendra Chola was a golden age for arts, culture and religion. Magnificent Chola temples like Brihadiswara were built as cultural and religious hubs. The Cholas intermarried with the eastern Chalukyas leading to the Chalukya Chola dynasty. Chalukya Chola King Rajendra II adopted the title, Gangaikonda Cholan, after conquering lands up to the Ganges. The later Chola kings declined after losing Vengi to the western Chalukyas. The rising Pandyan power led to the end of the Chola Empire by the 13th century. After Alexander, Chandragupta Maurya conquered central and western India up to the Himalayas. Chandragupta overthrew the Nanda dynasty with help from his advisor Chanakya. Chanakya wrote the Arthashastra, a treatise on politics and economics. Ashoka expanded the Maurya Empire but was horrified by the Kalinga War's destruction. Ashoka converted to Buddhism and propagated its peaceful messages within and outside his kingdom. Ashoka built universities, hospitals, roads and irrigation systems for public welfare. Ashoka's edicts promoting compassionate living were inscribed on pillars and rocks across his kingdom. The last Maurya king fell 50 years after Ashoka's death in 232 BC. The Cheras ruled over parts of South India including present-day Kerala from their capital Vanchi. King Senguttuvan Chera expanded the kingdom and promoted arts and literature. Overseas trade with Rome flourished under the Cheras. After a period of Kalabhra rule, the second Chera Empire rose under Mahabali Vaman. Trade with China grew during the second Chera Empire. After King Rajasimha, the Cheras declined and the Cholas took over. The Pallavas established their capital at Kanchi after being driven from Pallavapuram by the sea. Skandavarman extended Pallava rule from the Krishna to the Pennar rivers. King Sinhavishnu defeated the Cholas, Pandyas and Kalabharas. Mahendravarman I was a great patron of arts and music and a poet. The Pallava cave temples of Mahabalipuram were built under Mahendravarman I. Narasimhavarman I conquered Vatapi and sent missions to China. After the Guptas fell, Prabhakar Vardhan of Thanesar unified neighboring kingdoms. His son Rajya Vardhan was killed by King Shashankar, after which Harsha Vardhan took revenge. King Harsha combined the kingdoms of Thanesar and Kannauj into a large empire. Harsha patronized arts, religion and literature. His court poet wrote the Harshacharita. After Harsha's death, his empire disintegrated. The Rajputs were warrior clans from Rajasthan and central India starting in the 7th century. Famed for courage and loyalty, Rajput women practiced Johar, mass self-immolation to avoid capture. Prithviraj Chauhan ruled an empire from present-day Haryana to Rajasthan. Prithviraj defeated Muhammad of Ghor in the first battle of Terrain before being defeated in the second. Rana Pratap of Mewar relentlessly fought the Mughals before the Rajputs eventually succumbed. Muslim dynasties like the Delhi Sultanate arose in the north amidst invasions starting in the 12th century. An Indo-Muslim culture developed under the Sultanate, including Urdu language and architecture. The Delhi Sultanate had India's only female monarch in Razia Sultana. Taimur's invasion left Delhi in ruins before the Mughal Babur defeated the last Sultan at Panipat. Babur's son Humayun lost his kingdom to Sher Shah Suri before regaining it from Suri's successors. Akbar expanded the empire from Kabul to Bengal and into the Deccan Plateau. Akbar promoted religious tolerance, arts, literature and architecture. Jahangir and Shah Jahan continued expanding the prosperous Mughal empire. Aurangzeb reversed earlier religious tolerance but expanded the empire further. Aurangzeb's religious restrictions made him many enemies like the Sikhs and Marathas who rebelled. After Aurangzeb, the decentralized Mughal empire went into decline. Shivaji carved out the Maratha kingdom from the Bijapur Sultanate and often defeated the Mughals. Shivaji implemented enlightened policies like religious tolerance and justice. The Marathas continued fighting the Mughals for 27 years after Shivaji's death in 1680. Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan built up the kingdom of Mysore and resisted British expansion. Hyder modernized Mysore's army and twice defeated the British before his death. Tipu Sultan continued his father's anti-British stance but was killed fighting the British in 1799. Rani Lakshmi Bai, Queen of Jhansi, joined the 1857 rebellion against British annexation. Lakshmi Bai bravely fought against the British with her adopted son Damodar Rao. Lakshmi Bai died battling British forces at the Gwalior Fort in 1858.